All right, 6.5, solving and graphing inequalities from standard form. So this is really similar to what we did yesterday, only we are not given y by itself. So we have to first isolate y and then graph inequalities. So let's just start with getting y by itself. And this is a process that we've done with equations, but not yet with inequalities. So let's just remind ourselves how this works. We're first going to get rid of the 2x. We're going to subtract 2x from both sides of our inequality. So now I've got 5y is greater than 10 minus 2x, or negative 2x plus 10, same thing. Now let's divide everything by 5, and we're left with y by itself. I do not flip my inequality. I did not divide by a negative. And now I've got 2 minus 2 over 5x. So this is the inequality I will be graphing. My slope is negative 2/5. That's the number with x. My y-intercept is 2. And now we have to decide what kind of a line and where to shade. All right, now guys, please remember that these decisions are based on what kind of inequality you have. Since this or equal to line is missing, it's going to be a dashed line. And we're going to shade above because it says greater than. So we shade above. All right, let's get this graphed. The first point is our y-intercept at 2. Our slope is negative 2/5. We're going to go down to right 5. Or we could go up to left 5. All right, so there are our points. And now we said it's going to be a dashed line, so I'm going to try and draw a decent looking dashed line here. Not great. Hopefully yours is better. And then we're going to shade above the line. So every single point on the line, no matter where it is, we're shading above it, which ends up being this side of our line. Sometimes when the lines are steep, it's a little tricky, but this one's not too bad. All right, so above the line. Let's go ahead and look at problem 2. It's the same type of deal here. Problem 2. First, we got to isolate y. We got to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. And I've got negative 2y is greater than 14 minus 4x. And then I'm going to divide everything by negative 2 because I'm getting y isolated here. So we've got y. This time, I do need to flip my inequality because I divided by a negative. I've got y is less than negative 7 plus 2x, right? Negative divided by negative would be a positive 2x. So I'm going to graph from this isolated y inequality. So my slope is 2, my y-intercept is negative 7. And now pay close attention. The line I've used and the shading I draw are not based on this inequality. They're based on the inequality I finished with, and that's important because in this case, they were different. I started with the greater than, but once I isolated y, I had a less than sign. Y'all, use this one. Use the one when y is by itself. All right? Don't let that mess you up. We're going to put our y-intercept here on the graph at negative 7. My slope is 2, so I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Up 2 over 1, so here are some points for my line. When I draw dashed lines, I like to draw a lot of points just because it makes my life a little easier here. All right. And we're going to shade. Oh, I should have written that first, I guess. Dashed line, because the or equal to sign wasn't there. Shading is going to be below, because it's a less than sign when we were finished. So we're going to shade below the line. So everyone on the line, just draw some lines going down for below, and that'll kind of help you to see what portion of your graph is supposed to be shaded. All right, there you go. Just a quick reminder, I'm going to draw some random points right now so we can talk about solutions. Take a look at this point right here I'm drawing. Oops, that's highlighter. Let's take a look here. This point right here is a solution. It's in the shaded area. This point right here is not because it's on a dotted line, not a solid line. This point is also not a solution because it's not in the shaded area. So just a quick reminder about how we look at solutions. All right, problem 3. Here we go, problem 3. First things first, let's go ahead and get rid of that negative 3x because it's negative. We've got to make sure we add it this time. And we're left with negative 6y is less than or equal to negative 18 plus 3x. Remember, those are not like terms. We do not combine them. And now we got to divide by negative 6, which means we've got y, and we divided by a negative. So, of course, we're not going to forget to flip our inequality. And then on the right side, we clean that up, and we have got negative 18 divided by negative 6, which is positive 3. And let's reduce this. Let's simplify this. 3 divided by negative 6 is 1/2. So we're going to put minus 1/2 x. If you leave it as 3 over 6, that's fine. It's just unsimplified. Excuse me. All right. Here we go. My slope is negative 1/2, the number with x. My y-intercept is 3. We are looking here to decide where to shade. All right, so it has the or equal to line under it, so it's going to be a solid line this time. And it's a greater than sign when we finished. Remember, when we finished, not here. So we're going to go ahead and shade above this line. All right, first point on the line is going to be here at 3. And my slope is negative 1/2, so down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2, down 1, right 2, and here is my solid line. All right, solid line this time. And now we're going to shade above. So we're going to go everywhere on the line up above it, and that's where we shade. Just one more example for solutions. I won't do it on the last one. Take a look at these points. Okay, this point right here is just random point, not a solution, not in the shaded area. Point right here is on a solid line. So yes, it is a solution. And then this random point here is in a shaded area, so this would also be a solution. Okay. All right, problem number 4. Here we go. Got to get y by itself so we can decide where our shading is going to be. So let's add x to both sides of our inequality. We got 2y is less than or equal to negative 2 plus x. Divide by 2. I divided by a positive number, so I'm going to leave my inequality alone. And I get negative 1 plus, let's clean this up. I'm going to put a 1 here for my brain. It helps a lot. And I got 1/2 x. All right, my slope is 1/2. My intercept, b, is negative 1. My type of line, because I have the or equal to symbol, is going to be solid again. Remember, I look here, I look here to decide what kind of line and where to shade. And it's a less than sign, so we're shading below. All right, we are shading below this time. So my y-intercept is here at negative 1, and I'm going to go up 1 over 2 because my slope is 1/2. This is definitely review. We've been doing this for a while here. And we've got our line, our solid line this time drawn. And we're going to shade below it. Right, so from the line, go down. And this is our shaded area. All right, so just a quick reminder, if you do get your inequality written in standard form, get y by itself and then decide where to shade. All right, and as always with inequalities, watch out for having to flip your inequality around when you divide both sides or multiply both sides by a negative number.